as a student in the Center for Leadership and International Relations. Throughout these years, I have taken courses that have prompted me to formulate my very own definition of the word leadership. Freshman year, I was enrolled in Perspectives, a class designed to inform its students on global and domestic issues. After taking this class, I had successfully studied many different philosophies of leadership and how they've been applied through real-world conflicts. Sophomore year, I endured Communications, a tough class made up of solely speech delivery and debate. This class helped me see the importance of communication and how it can make or break a leader. It also eliminated my preconceived notions of the horrors of public speaking. Junior year, I took the much-awaited ethics course, where I studied the many different moral dilemmas a leader could face. This course dove deep into the roots of my character and ethicality, making me question who I wanted to be as a leader, but more importantly, who I wanted to be as a human being. The final cornerstone of leadership correlates with the final year of the program. That's putting what you've learned in the previous 3 years together to provide service to your community and the world around you. As I enter my fourth and final year in the center, I am faced with the pressing question: what is your definition of leadership? This question is difficult because it is so open-ended. Nobody can have an incorrect definition of leadership, within the realm of reason, I suppose, so why can't I just pick the easy way out and say leadership is a harmony of qualities molded together to form one great leader? I think that definition bothers me so much because we tend to focus on leadership as a linear, one-person job. We see Obama, or Martin Luther King, or Gandhi, or even Hitler, and we, at no fault of our own, see leadership as a singular, linear concept. My vision of leadership is a brown, soupy mess, created from the mixture of all the color components it entails. You see, when I first entered the program, I was sort of confused at how all 4 cornerstones came together so simply to form a final product of leadership. I decided to think of it in this way. These cornerstones are needed for leadership, but they are not necessarily the formula. I created my own formula made up of problems, leaders, followers, and solutions, and assigned them each a color so as not to get them confused. In order to have leadership, there needs to be a problem. The problem is red, because problems are bad. If there were no conflict in the world today, we just wouldn't need leaders to help us find solutions and compromise. Next in our brown soupy formula, we need leaders to fix said problem. They are the risk takers, the plan makers, the go-doers. Leadership simply doesn't exist without leaders. But it also doesn't exist without followers to help the leaders. Our bright yellow represents followership. If there were no people to help the leader put a plan in action, the leader would be dead in the water. Lastly, leadership is made up of a solution. So what if leaders and followers are working together on enacting a solution? If they don't actually find one, or at least compromise to better the situation, poor leadership is taking place. When each part of this formula is viewed as a separate entity, the color components are easy to distinguish and are viewed as a simple strand of color floating through water. But as the layers are added, the colors begin to blend, and the soupy, complicated mess that is leadership begins to form. Each color slowly blends with another, just like the problems, solutions, leaders, and followers blend together during the process of leadership. It starts to get even harder and harder to identify what the brown soupy mess is made up of, and how many colors went into the process of creating it. When all is said and done, the individual colors each play a role in the final product. I guess as a freshman I saw leadership as brown. Over the span of 4 years, however, I saw it as red, and a little bit of yellow, and a lot of blue and flashes of green. I still see leadership as brown, muddy, and never quite uniform, but at least now I know what it's made of. I spent almost 4 years in the Center for Leadership and International Relations, and I couldn't be more happy with the muddy mess I've discovered.